One question we always get asked. What do we prefer, MSC or do we prefer P&O? So we've now been on 5 MSC cruises and we have been on 3 P&O cruises. Today we are going to look at some different areas about both cruise lines and then let you decide which you would prefer, and we will give you a little bit more insight into which we prefer. So we are going to look at the ship. We are going to look at the value for money, we're going to look at the entertainment, we're going to look at the food, and then we're going to look at the overall feel of both of the cruise lines.
Before we get into the discussion, let's take a look at the two companies. P&O Cruises is a British brand, started and formed in 1977. It is now part of the Carnival Cruise Corporation, the largest cruise company in the world. It has sister companies Princess, Cunard, and Carnival. 7 ships. Arvia is the newest and heads around the Mediterranean for 2-week cruises in the summer, Caribbean cruises in the winter. Iona heads to Norway throughout the summer. Ventura and Britannia are the other family ships. They have various itineraries. Aurora, Arcadia are the adults only ships, and Azora heads out of Malta in the summer and the Canaries in the winter. MSC is 53 years old. It is part of the MSC shipping group. 22 ships, but out of Southampton. Virtuosa is the summer ship. Preziosa will be in winter 24 and 25 with Northern Europe cruises. And finally, this winter is Euriba, the Virtuosa sister ship and the newest.
So out of Southampton, we have been on Iona, Arvia and Ventura on P&O, and out of Southampton on MSC, we've been on Virtuosa, the big one from Southampton, Preziosa, which, as you know, is going to be here next winter, and Euriba is coming up very, very shortly. But what is, first of all, the feel, the ships? How do they feel? First of all, MSC.
Wow, you walk in, there's the massive atrium with the LED, what is it? The light,
LED
the
screen.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's in the Galleria. It's massive,
Absolutely huge.
Big wows.
Swarovski everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must take a long time to clean.
Massive atrium, you look up and you just wow, aren't you?
Yeah, very, very wow factor as soon as you walk on an MSC ship.
When you walk on a P&O ship, it feels very British, it feels very homely. I would say quite outward looking. Some ships, especially like Royal Caribbean ships, they're quite inward looking, sort of Vegas style. P&O is definitely in the atrium, you're looking out to the sea, there's massive windows. So it feels, yes, it feels more sort of homely.
Yeah.
The decor, MSC decor is lots of artwork, isn't it? Very Italian,
very, very much so. You walk down the corridor and there's artwork absolutely everywhere when you're walking to your cabin.
Yeah, well, it's more plainer, isn't it, on P&O?
Yeah.
You feel like, I do feel when you walk on P&O, you do feel like more at home. The layout of it, obviously, you have got those big wows, haven't you? So you've got the massive atrium, you've got the Galleria with the massive screen, but then it's quite a contrast with the actual venues, with P&O bigger sort of venues like Brody's and Anderson's. Well, you've got the small sort of bars, haven't you?
Yeah, so MSC, it's almost like when you walk into the Galleria, everything is just off of it. Whereas with P&O, you have to walk around and you have to go in all the nooks and crannies to find a different bar. Whereas on the majority of the MSC ships that we have been on, everything is just a straight line and then there's a bar, a restaurant, a bar, a restaurant. And they are much smaller venues than you would find on P&O, I would say. Yeah,
the P&O ones are obvious venues. You've got the clubhouse, which does all the entertainment in the daytime, and obviously it's the place to go in the evening with the pulse band. You've got a British pub. You've got Anderson's, which is more of a library, so more of a slower pace bar. Well, you've got unusual stuff on MSC. You've got like the sports bar, the TV studio bar. Not even sure they do programs there, but they've got TV studio. They've got Masters at Sea, which is the British pub. But that is quite small, isn't it? And it's always packed. So
it takes a long time to find a seat, I think, on a lot of MSC ships. If they're at full capacity, you have to get there quite early. The only one I would say is a little bit different. If you haven't tried Preziosa yet, Preziosa had a lot larger bars on it. And at the back of the ship, there was a really lovely safari bar. And there was loads of seating in there. But MSC, every single ship has got a unique bar to that ship.
Yeah.
And something that you'll be like, oh, like on the last day, oh, I didn't know that was there. I didn't know that was there.
Yeah. The obvious differences on the ships are now P&O's more of a traditional, isn't it? So you're going to get the pools, the shuffleboard, which we'll come into later. All the additional things you can imagine on a cruise ship will be there. Well, MSC, well, except obviously Arvia. Arvia now has the high ropes and the golf.
Yeah.
So they're slightly, and has a small little aqua sort of spray jet things. But then obviously on MSC ships, there's loads of the big things. So you've got...
On MSC, you've got the arcades, you've got the water park, you have got bigger pools, and a lot more pools on a lot of the MSC ships, I would say.
10-pin bowling.
10-pin bowling, you've got the 3D cinema, you've got the F1, massive basketball courts, and a bit like Royal Caribbean, really, with their basketball courts, aren't they? Yeah. And their sports arena. So, yeah, loads going on.
So, yeah, so there's... And we will come on to the cost of those in a minute, but those are the big things. You know, you've got entertainment absolutely everywhere. Yeah. Some of it costs, but I would say if you were MSC versus you've got traditional cruising versus probably, 2023 type of cruising. But P&O are slightly going that way, as we said.
Yeah, they are. And I think one big thing here, if you have got kids, there is a lot more for them to do on an MSC ship. Our children would definitely say MSC, just because there is so much more going on for them to do, because they don't particularly like going into kids club. Whereas P&O, a lot of kids that do go into kids club absolutely love it, and they do really enjoy it, but unfortunately not ours.
They're both areas. They've got kids club, obviously, and both probably the same size kids club. Slight difference is it's a little bit crazy, the kids clubs on MSC. Kids can sign themselves out and go. You can't do on the original. And I would say, but they've got some. I know they've got some like drone flying and stuff that they're introducing. So maybe slightly more innovative stuff going on in the kids club.
Yeah, definitely. And I think another thing to remember here with MSC is obviously it's more of an international ship. So you do have stop-offs at different points, people getting on and off the ship. So you do have lots of different nationalities. So I think Alice did struggle a little bit when she went into kids club because there were no English-speaking children. So she felt a little bit left out. So that is another thing with MSC, having all of those other things going on make up for that fact.
Yeah, in and out. You will find in the summer, apart from Barcelona, the cruise, there'll be the same people on MSC, mostly as you go around the Med and go up to Norway. So there will just be one pick up and pick it off. In the winter, 100%, it does the same route pretty much all the way around Northern Europe, and you can pick up in every one, can't you?
Yes.
So just to cover a couple of last things on the ships as far as the cabins go. They're pretty similar. We quite like both cabins. Main differences?
MSC have drawers.
Yes, yeah. But then MSC, the TV, you've got to pay for films and stuff.
Yeah, you have to pay for everything on MSC, you don't on P&O.
But we actually really do like P&O and MSC cabins, so you're going to find massive differences in that. So those are kind of main things. But then it goes down to our second subject, which is the cost. Now, base price is probably pretty similar. We'd say we find MSC maybe slightly cheaper. Yeah. Going to have sales. So I would always say keep a watch of them. If you've got an idea of a cruise, especially in the summer, they do very, very similar cruises. Things like the fjords, Mediterranean, and Virtuosa will do those same itineraries. So what we would say, just watch, wouldn't we? Yeah.
You're always going to get a deal. And then obviously if you have any discounts on top of that, so blue light card, we're always quite fortunate that when we book that we do get money off through that. And we did with MSC last year, which is why we went on 5 MSC Cruises, because I think we got 20%?
Yeah.
20% off.
So, and we'd also obviously try with an independent travel agent, and then also check yourself against the website as well. So always don't just book it, just check across the board. Once you're on board, there's different categories. So obviously on MSC, it's Bella.
Oh, sorry, I've caught up now. So yeah, you've got Bella, which is your basic package. So you have your cabin allocated to you. You have Fantastica, so you get a few extra perks, and you can pick your cabin.
Yeah.
And then you have Aurora, which or Aurea, however it's described, which is where you get your own separate little areas on the ship. You get to pick your allocated room, and you get a few other perks when you get in. You get some champagne, you get robes, and then you have Yacht Club, which is a ship within a ship, which we will be doing in October on Euriba.
So we'll have all that information as well.
Here,
So that is a big difference. When you're going higher up in the cabins, you've got a ship within a ship. And then obviously you do have suites on P&O, but they're obviously just your standard suites. Obviously they've got loads of good perks, and again we've got that. We'll stick again in the corner. Subscribe button is completely free. You can do it now if you like. We've got loads of amazing cruise content coming up. What else should they do with the video? Give it a like.
Sorry.
Dreaming of your next cruise.
I am, yeah.
Yeah. But they should like it.
Yeah. See, this is what happens when you just do an impromptu vlog.
I've got a massive script down there.
P&O. So P&O, you have select fare and you have saver fare. So let's see if I get this right. Tom's the brains behind all of this. So the saver fare is...
God, hallelujah. Safer fare is that they'll pick the room for you. So
That's
you pick your level. You pick the level, whether it's inside, and they'll pick and you don't really get anything on onboard credit, etc. Well, your select fare is more perks. So you get things like onboard credit.
And you get the free shuttle.
You get to choose your cabin, etc. So you'll have those two choices, and it all depends. Sometimes, you might have £200 onboard credit, but it's £800 more. So you really got to think, My view on it, and we have talked about it in the future, in the past, is decide if you're going to do saver fare. If there's a massive gap, what's the worst room you can get on a saver fare? And then if you don't mind that room, then go with it.
And also, I do think a big thing with the shuttles, I know it's a silly thing, but when you're in port, if you've got a really port-heavy cruise and you're getting off every single day, that soon mounts up when you're a family of 4, when it's costing you... I think it was like $7.50, but then actually it's the same with MSC. So if you're getting a shuttle, you do pay for the shuttle. Is the drinks packages.
Yes.
So we have recently done a drinks package review on P&O, and actually we found it's not cost effective to get a drinks package. However, with MSC, you need to get the drinks package because the drinks are absolutely extortionate. We made a very big mistake going in April without a drinks package and spent £500 in 4 days.
Yes, that is our big tip. With MSC, once you've got the price and you're comparing with P&O, then add in the drinks package. Even if it's soft drinks package, we just drink soft drinks. Add in that, whatever that drinks package, then add in a fun pass. If your kids or adults that just want to have fun, add all those in and then put some calculations what you're on board. Then you've got a price, because that's the price that you should go on board with. Because if you don't, then you're going to add a fortune once you get on board. So as we said before, MSC's got loads of things like F1. You can bring, just to mention, you can bring unlimited soft drinks.
Yeah.
A litre each of alcohol. So that's the big difference. You can't bring any of that on MSC. So again, you need to budget in all those things when you compare those two prices.
Yeah. And we've talked about beverages, so now let's talk about the food.
Yes, let's talk about food. The MDRs, they're pretty similar?
I'd say the MDRs are very similar. I'd actually say I prefer MSC MDRs, although we do seem to see the same repetition of food every single MSC cruise that we go on, but I do prefer the food in MSCs.
They do tend to pack them in a bit more, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah, you could end up sharing a table with people in the MDR. It all gets a little bit stressful.
More traditional seating on MSC. They normally have 3 seatings, about 6, 8 and 10, obviously.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you can't change that. You can go on the first day, but you can't really change that. So, and there's more freedom dining, especially on Iona and Arvia.
Yeah, which is a big perk, I think. So going back to when we went around the Med last year, we didn't actually eat in the MDR at all because we had a 6 o'clock dining time and we were in the pool with the kids at 6 o'clock. So we didn't actually use that at all. So yeah, MDRs I would say are very much on par. You've got your specialty restaurants. So one thing I will say here, when you go on an MSC ship, you can buy a dining package before you get on board, and you will have 2 or 3 restaurants depending on what you want to purchase. When you are on board, that is one thing that you will see continuously, not so much from the UK, but when we've gone out of the Med, where literally every corner you turn, they're handing you a menu and saying, would you like to come to our speciality restaurant tonight? And you can get quite good deals. So when we went on Seaview last year, we did manage to get the kids free in all of those restaurants, and we paid £80 I think to have 3 restaurants.
I think it depends on how well the sales are going.
I mean, when we went on World Europa, we didn't get asked once.
No, exactly.
To upgrade to any of the packages.
But the specialities are, so on MSC we've got...
So we've got Ola, which is an amazing Mexican. We really like that.
Bit cheaper there.
Yeah, butcher's cut is a standard on all MSC ships. The teppanyaki, so we have done all 3 of those. We went to an amazing sushi one, didn't we, on Preziosa?
Yeah. You know, you can't have a package of 3, you've got to pay it individually, haven't you?
However, it is probably a little bit cheaper and you can pay. So with MSC, when you've bought that package, you will have a certain section of each menu that you can pick from. And then if you want to pick off of the main menu, they will give you about 50% off, which is quite good. However, with P&O, it is just standard prices throughout the whole menu, which I quite like because I like to see exactly what I'm paying.
And also with P&O, so you've got the Sindhu, which is like Indian. You've got Beach House, which is American type, you know, they're called chips and not chips. It's got much better things than chips. Tex-Mex, hasn't it? And ribs and etc. Wine House.
The Glass House.
The Glass House, which is wine and tapas, which is amazing. You've got Keeling Cow, which is your gastro pub. Epicurean, which you'll find on it. We like Epicurean. Move on to buffets. Horizon, very British on P&O. Quite like the breakfast. The rest of it, you got a lot of varieties of roast. It's okay, but it's not going to win awards. We really like the buffets on MSC. It's more Italian. Pizza.
Yeah, and Ernest gets his burger fix every MSC cruise. And also I think with MSC there is a lot more variety of lots of different speciality foods on the buffet. Whereas with P&O, especially at night time, there's not really a lot.
There's real variety actually on MSC, and I've just talking to someone the other day, just come out from MSC ship, and because they've got kids, they spend most of the time in the buffet, and I want to dream doing that on P&O. So the buffets on MSC are really, really good, and even if you just like pizza, the pizza is amazing.
Yeah, best pizza at sea.
Yes. Both have obviously got fast food. They've got 360 on Arvia and Iona, but they've also got with Arvia and Only they've got, Arvia's got the diner, which is great. That's included. We love that. We see that here. Keys, which obviously has its 3 outlets. Burgers on Iona, roasts on Arvia, fish and chips, and it's got the fusion.
Yeah.
And it's Olive Grove, which has got Mediterranean. So those are really good added pluses for included food as well. So those.
So there is a little bit more included with P&O food wise.
Yes. Yeah.
So I would say P&O maybe do top food.
Just slightly. But we did love the buffet. So next on the list, we do have entertainment. So entertainment, I'll quickly do it in a nutshell, and then you can expand a little bit more. It's more British on P&O, obviously, because it's a British line. So in the daytime, we're talking shuffleboard, we're talking quoits, we're talking table tennis competitions, we're talking quizzes after quizzes after quizzes, which are really good, and they are kind of family friendly. There's lots going on in the daytime. There would be in the court if on Arvia, but the court's so small. But on other ones, you've got sports courts. You might get like basketball, football, etc. Yeah. So there is loads going on in daytime. When we compare with MSC has more. So in the daytime, you will have quizzes, but they're not the greatest, are they? You have loads of dance classes, endless dance classes in the day. You might just suddenly have a show where they're flying flags. So it's all a little bit random. But it's not, daytime definitely wins, I would say, on P&O, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
When we come to the evening, very, very different. That Virtuosa does have more of a British sort of feel because they're all summer. So they do have British acts, etc. But P&O has comedians, doesn't it? More up-to-date shows.
Yeah, and more places to go and see shows.
You've got Festival, Stephen Mulhan show, Greatest Day. So they're more kind of up-to-date. You more like to get Italian, you get opera show, which we'd recommend going, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, MSC Entertainment, it is entertaining. Even if you think, what on earth is going on? It's entertaining.
Yes.
It's half an hour that's good, feel good.
But you're more like to get ABBA, aren't you? You have the themed nights. Big thing on MSC, don't they?
Big thing. There's always a white night on MSC, so make sure you've got something white packed. I never do. And
in the gallery, they have all the music. And
yeah, they have a party, so they have a 70s party. And on Virtuosa especially, so that fills up the whole of the Galleria. And then you just have people on podiums dancing all over the place. It's really cool. And if you like that kind of atmosphere. Whereas P&O, you wouldn't see.
No, you
get the silent disco in the atrium actually.
And it might be more in a room, so you won't get the big party, but you might have a great atmosphere.
In a certain place.
Well, yeah, in a certain place, like in the clubhouse, where you'd have like a party and stuff. But if you like big, massive, the light show going on, they go big, don't they, on those shows. DJs playing,
It's good fun.
It is really, really good fun. You'll find it's more earlier on when you're going from Southampton. If you're going from the Mediterranean, like white party started at 12:30 at night.
Yeah, I think MSC is a completely different feel when you get on in the Med to when you get on in the UK. Massively.
I think that is a big note to MSC. They've in the past 3 or 4 years they've really tried to tailor the market.
Yeah, most definitely.
But still kept the MSC feel.
Yeah, say very, very different. I wouldn't say either of them wow me. Both of them are okay. There's enough to do.
I think I'll be a little bit harsh. I definitely enjoy the entertainment on both ships.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's your opinion, and that's why we're here.
Well, that's very true. Yeah. One other thing I would say is obviously you've been to the Carousel Lounge, but there was a paid show. Explain that quickly.
So that's a paid show on MSC, and actually, it was fantastic. It was possibly the best show that I have ever seen. And I think. I did like this one. So again, if you pay before you get on the ship, you get it at a reduced price. When I went with my friends, I think we paid £15 each, but it was worth it. So you got a cocktail when you went in.
Don't forget, we are on social media. What are we on?
We're on TikTok.
Ooh.
We're on Threads.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram.
Yes.
And we are kind of on Facebook, but no one seems to find us. So come and try and find us on Facebook.
Yeah, no, definitely. We're across the board, and we try and do slightly different things as well and get to know us a little bit more. And we like you to interact, so they're all our social media. Where would you go with P&O?
So, as Tom did say, P&O is very homely. I feel safe. That sounds silly, but I feel quite safe and secure on a P&O ship. I normally can find my way around quite quickly, and it just feels quite leisurely.
Yes.
That's how I think I would describe it. And I don't really get too stressed. I'd say MSC, because the ships seem bigger and because there are so many different venues all over the place, it takes me a little longer to navigate my way around the ship. And it can get a little bit stressful sometimes trying to find somewhere that you can kind of say, right, we'll meet here, you meet there, and there's nowhere to sit. So
yeah,
I think MSC, like you get on and it's just go, 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 go.
Yeah.
It's not the most relaxing of ships to go on. You just feel like you have to go and see everything. Whereas with P&O, it's more leisurely, I think.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it feels a bit more busier on MSC. But if you just go with the flow with it, I think it's great. I think they both have their slight pitfalls. I think they could improve check-in, both of them. They could scrap all the bloody paper that we have. I think they both are level pegging with those, but they are getting a lot better. We've had actually some really quick check-ins, which is absolutely great. I think both could slightly improve service. Both have problems sometimes with sunbeds, but I've heard that, especially on MSC recently, the captain's been trying to do announcements and they're trying to crack down. So fair play, they're trying to do something.
And I would also say on that point with MSC, a lot of the MSC ships we've been on, there is a lot more seating, it seems, outside. Than on Arvia.
Most definitely.
We've never struggled, even when we were in the Mediterranean. We still managed to get a sunbed later on in the day. So, Tom, I'm going to ask you one question here. So we're already married, so it can't be a proposal. So we have done 5 MSC and we have done 3 P&O. What is your favourite ship?
The Seaview was my favourite MSC ship, yes.
I mean across all the board.
No, Seaview.
Of them. So Seaview.
Yes, but ship doesn't go from Southampton. If we're talking from Southampton, I loved Preziosa because I think it mixed the traditional with the thing. So I think it's a great one to get on next winter. I'd like to get back on Virtuosa and go on longer. So that's a bit unfair. And we're going on Euriba, so I'd like to think. I loved Iona. And Arvia, we did love it. I think some people thought we were a bit negative on it, but I don't think we were. I just think with Arvia, maybe we had such high expectations that thing. But
so we started this with which do we prefer, MSC or P&O? And
it's up to you. I really can't.
I'd say
different.
They are very similar but very different all in the same time. For a budget, for more of a budget cruise line, I'd say you'd have an amazing time on both of them.
And I'd go for money. I'd look for what's the best deal. I'd go for the destinations, and I would try both. Yeah. I would definitely try both, and they've both got their pitfalls. And
I would say out of all of them that we have been on, I would go on any of them again if we had the right price. So I don't really think we do prefer MSC or P&O. I think when you do...
Well, have I been rude? Have I not asked you your favourite?
No, you haven't.
Oh, go and ask. What's your favourite?
What's my favourite? I would actually say Preziosa.
Wow, brilliant. Yeah.
Just because I really liked the feel of Preziosa. I just thought it was a really, really nice ship.
We've missed out Ventura. We did love Ventura, didn't we?
Oh, and Ventura. Yes, I did love Ventura.
That's more of your traditional ship there. Get involved in the comments below.
Yeah.
What's your view? What's your tips from both? Who would win in a battle? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we've got loads of cruise content. It's completely free. Don't forget to hit that like button. Anything else you'd like to add?
Happy cruising.
See you next time.